Hey everybody, it's Kenny K again with a new slasher flick that I wanted to, new from the 80s, that I wanted to review with you guys. Saw this movie once, long ago, and couldn't make any sense of it. And now, uh, sort of. It's called Strange Behavior from 1981, directed by Michael Laughlin. And it gets an 5.6 on IMDb. It gets a 5 from me because the story is you've got a small town and a sort of institute that experiments that do paid experiments on students, female or male, doesn't matter. And you have to be a young student, between 20 25 years old. um, and John Brady, the sheriff, the he doesn't want anything to do with that because his ex-wife worked there and he believes that they killed her, that they experimented her on her with a certain drug and killed her. So he's basically on I'm gonna fuck you up mode. You know what I mean? But the movie starts with a uh, uh, young guy, young male high school student, and he's apparently the mayor's son. The lights, he stays home alone, and the lights fall out, and he's going downstairs with a candle, and he sees, when you have that background lighting where you can make animals, with your hands. Then you see a shadow of a killer stabbing him multiple times, and then you see a face. You already see side of somebody's face. Also, young high school student looking guy blowing the candle out. That's how the movie starts. Now, they pretty much already said, oh, I mean, we see half of the face of the killer already, but okay, I didn't know who the fuck that was. Even if that killer was in the classroom, I wouldn't pick it. I wouldn't know who to pick out because it wasn't clear enough. Now, uh, the sheriff's son Pete wants to go to a college, but the sheriff doesn't want that. But Pete wants it, and he wants to pay for his intuition to get into college. And then a friend of him, which is uh, that killer that blowed out the candle and killed the mayor's son, says you have to go to this institution. They pay you like $100 per session, and it's easy peasy. And he says he's dangerous. No, he says you just get a tablet, and you get smarter. Your sex drive is better. You're more on edge, and that's the reason why I got an A plus today, and because he got an A plus, the guy got an A plus that day. So okay, he says why not? But before that all happens, there's a party going on, and a costume party, and that's in someone's home, and one couple, two people, boy and girl, want to go, but their car is stuck, and the killer wearing this zombie-like mask. It's the guy who, like I said, who wanted to give the he gave the tip to go to the friend of the other guy who wanted the guy to go to the institute, like I said, and I have to say that was a rather gory kill because he the guy in the car steps out and he says to his girlfriend, you give gas and I'll push. So he's pushing him, but the killer stabs him in the neck. You see him stabbing, you see the blade going in, the blood is puking out blood, and then you see him with a zombie mask stabbing, and then you see the stabs really going in there, and that was pretty gory. While he's coughing up blood, he keeps him stabbing around the neck area and the chest area, and you see the knife going in. The knife going in, that was pretty cool. Then he wants to stab to his girlfriend, but she evades and she goes straight back to the party. But she jumps in the pool because there's a pool. They had a pool in the house where they're at the party, but she can't swim. There's this cord, with these buoys on, and the killer, because before that she wanted to get back up, but the killer slices her hand, so she wants to hold on those buoys because she can't swim, and the killer starts to cut off the rope, but then somebody hears her crying. They rescue her, the killer flees, and you see it's the guy who recommended the Pete, the sheriff's son, to go to the institution. Now, this movie, you got some creepy moments. Like that was a creepy moment in my opinion. You see the guy coming out of the woods with that creepy mask. He had a really creepy mask. It looked like the zombie from Resident Evil 1 from PlayStation, the first PlayStation game. Remember? You gotta remember that game. I hope everybody played that game. The zombie that's like this, the first zombie you meet, looks like that mask. And that was a creepy moment. And there's another creepy moment when the killer, is being killed. So he's being killed because I think his aunt comes home and he hears the music in his room, and she goes to his room to lower the music, to put off the music, and then she hears some in the bathroom dripping, and she goes to the bathroom. He sees this guy in a bloody bath with all the stab wounds and one hand missing, and then you think, oh shit. She goes like, oh fuck, and she's lying on the bed, and she's like, oh no, and then she wants to take the telephone. Now, before this all happens, before she takes the telephone, the door behind her opens. It's the killer still in the house. Now, what does that killer do? Doesn't kill the aunt. Goes back to the first killer, and she in the meanwhile calls the sheriff. The sheriff isn't there and will call her back. She hears something again in the bathroom. She goes to check it out. You see this fat girl, dark hair, sawing off the other hand, and then she's coming after her, of course, and then get over here, bitch, knife in her back, and she falls down, and then she gets to the telephone that's ringing, and she says, and that's pretty clever. I mean, you have to be, you know you're gonna die, you're fucked up, you're gonna, whatever, you know you're gonna be killed. She's one female, black hair, fat, 20 to 22 years old. No, and then she gets her throat slit. If after she could have said, she said all that, keeping herself serious to tell all that information, knowing she's gonna be killed by the crazy fat girl. But I thought to myself, why wouldn't that killer kill the aunt before she can call the cops? Because I was also thinking, why would, it's obviously that that institute is creating these students to do their bidding, and by chemical, by putting a chemical in them, and but why make a killer? I'm guessing that the girl was there to clean up loose ends, you know, because he failed to kill the two other girl, to the girl and the boy. He killed the boy, but he didn't kill the girl. I mean the young adult. But I think she was there to clean up the mess. But then, and then I think she cut off his hands for the fingerprints, maybe. But then she's so stupid. Instead of stabbing the ant immediately in the back and slitting her throat there and there on the bed, no, she goes just she just goes back. She lets her call the sheriff, and she just goes back to the. How stupid are you? Apparently, those chemicals don't make you smart. They make you donkey ass stupid. Stupid fat bitch. I mean, come on. Eventually, we don't hear anything from that girl anymore, and we see Pete going for his second session, and then we see what really happens. He's trapped down. His father is there. He busted in there because a homicide detective from the city came to the little town because they have like three kills already there or something. Three kills. Um, and Brady thinks it's that research center. They go with his deputy and the detective, and Caroline is the head, one of the head researchers there, and she's not letting. She's being. She's trying to keep them away, and they can't go in there, and they can't go in there. But then Brady starts to get annoyed and says, if you don't open this door, I'll bust the door in. Okay, stupid fucking bitch. And she said, okay, no problem, no problem. She opens the door, nothing to see, because he believes because they said that the doctor, the name of the doctor that killed his wife, Dr. Lasange, is dead, and Caroline is now the new head doctor. But he doesn't believe her. He believes that Lasange is still alive. That's why he's so, you know. And then we get his boy is basically in the room next to him, but it's a close. It's a silent room. You know, you can't hear anything. It's a silent-proof room. She goes in. She takes the fucking needle this big, puts it just in the eye, which is squirmed like some. So she wouldn't have to penetrate the skull. It's like how they did the lobotomies way back then, when, you know, in the movie One Bird Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, what they did with Jack Nicholson. That's how they did lobotomy. They went under the eye, above the eye, just above the eye, and not and gave a like a hammer click, click, and you were a plant for the rest of your fucking life. So, but he gets a syringe that goes directly in the brain, and he becomes this zombie-like person, but he's still, you know, he can communicate with him, this and this and that. And at some point, at some point, Brady is so enraged that he goes on his own back to the institute, and his son hears about that his dad is going to the institute, so he wants to go too. Brady got a shotgun, he got his revolver full of bullets, and he's basically going on a rampage. And eventually, when he gets there, he gets closed in by Caroline, and she's saying she's letting someone in, and it's not Caroline, but it's Pete, and she gives him the order: Pete, take the guns from your father. And he's coming to his father, and he says, Pete, my boy, don't do it, don't do it. And he takes the shotgun, because Caroline says, if you don't give it, you have to kill Pete. Then of course he gives it to him, and then eventually Caroline comes in, and then we see a guy in a wheelchair, and I don't know why this is so weird. So with an old man's face, but he has a fake glasses, fake toupee, fake skin. It's a younger man, and it's Dr. Lessange. And he said about, yeah, the experiment went wrong with your wife, but I'm not gonna let that happen with your boy. But although he orders his boy, Pete, here's the knife, you know what to do. Pete takes the knife, opens himself up like this. That's like, you know, like slitting your wrists to commit suicide. That's not the right way. You won't die because of that. If you do it like this, that's the right way. So he does it with both arms. So he can, and then he gives the knife, a bigger knife. Now kill your father, your dad. And Pete is and Brady's like, no, please. And he goes like this, and he kills Lessange. He stabs him twice in the neck, and he's like, why? Because you're my father. The fact that he was the maker and the creator of the chemical, everybody who had the chemical in him thought of Lessange or Caroline being the mother, right? Caroline escapes, but the police is already there, and she gets arrested. Eventually, yeah, I spoiled the movie, sorry for that, but it's just because it's such. That's why I'm giving it a 5, and IMDb gives it 5.6. The movie has some creepy moments, like I said, with when he has a Resident Evil zombie mask and he kills the guy and you see the knife going in. Then the moment where the aunt finds the first killer basically in the bathtub with no hand, as pale as fucking white paper, and then the killer, I mean, is still there. So you think, oh, fuck, she's gonna die. No, she doesn't die there, but she goes back, and you see her like carving off the second fucking hand, and she's like, ah! And she goes like that. It's she runs like that behind her. It's pretty creepy, but you've got creepy moments, but then you have these moments like I don't know. With it's a sort of an exhausting movie because you've got one killer, then you've got another killer, which that killer, the fat girl, is never found by anybody or mentioned by anybody again. Then we have Pete being the new killer, and he has a girlfriend called Gwen, and she's in the car with him, but he just smacks her head against the side window, and she's unconscious. But he's going to the institute to kill his dad or to stop him, you know. But you got that killer, then you got that killer, then you get that killer, and it's an exhausting movie. You have to keep track of what's going on, and I even didn't know that Brady, John Brady, the sheriff, is a sheriff. He just has a khaki pants on and a white shirt. He doesn't have a badge. He doesn't have a belt buckle, or bullets, or whatever, a gun. He's just like, he looks like a regular Joe you will see on the street. And then he's in an office that looks like a cantina or something where they're drinking coffee, and they'll look like a fucking sheriff's office. And his deputy is this decrepit old man, bald, can barely move. That's his fucking deputy. Oh my god. And then I I didn't know he was a sheriff until the moment this detective arrives and he's looking for the sheriff, and he says, "I'm Sheriff John Brady." Oh, so he was a sheriff. Ah, okay, okay. So the movie was, I don't know, there were boring moments, really boring, and not much happening, and teen problems, like, "Oh, you don't love me? Yes, I do love you, but you gotta put it out for me." And oh, Jesus Christ, heist, Jesus H Christ. So the movie, it's it's a okay watch. Watch it. Maybe you give it more than 5 points. Uh, Hope you like it. That's what I always say. Um, Hope you get a better experience out of it. But that's my experience. So hope you subscribe to get to 40 and create our mini. I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers. Then I'll be a happy camper. 100 badges of honor. That would be so cool. So see you next time and enjoy. Bye bye.